Hello and welcome to It's Fate, a fantasy novel recap podcast where two friends dive into your favorite fantasy reads. I'm Morgan.
And I'm Katie. And today is our anniversary. It's
Yay!
really not.
But when this comes out, it will be.
Yeah, of our 1 year. So if you've been listening, thanks.
Yes,
we love it.
We've been here from the beginning. Thank you so much. We're
Very
grateful.
much appreciate it.
Yeah, it's super fun. I can't believe
I know.
it does not feel like it's been a year.
No, at all.
Mm-mm.
But it's just going to be a fun episode. We gathered some questions from our Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have just like some random questions.
Yeah.
Random bookish questions. Fun little this or that.
Yeah, just fun stuff
chat.
to get to so that, you know, people can get to know us more, and I'm sure I'll learn something new about you,
Yeah.
which is always fun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, let's get started.
Cheers. We're
Cheers.
drinking the drink that we were drinking last episode, Cherry Cola.
Here's a secret. Then let me take a sip and leave you in suspense. We record 2 episodes every time we meet together, so we change our outfits partway through, and it just works for our schedules.
Yeah.
And so we are finishing the drink that we were drinking last week according to the recordings, but
We saved it for
yeah, we saved it for a whole week. But we started it in our last episode
Yeah.
that we just recorded right before this. So,
Speaking of beverages,
yes.
looks like our first question. What type of beverage would you pair with each series? Ooh, that we've podcasted about.
Yes.
Okay. Akatar.
Okay. I feel like a hot cup of tea
Ooh, yeah.
or champagne,
Okay.
depending on which book I was reading.
Yeah, I think
Or
because
what moment.
Yeah, the series kind of has like a tone shift a little bit. Something I like the champagne.
Yeah.
That it kind of gives me the fairy wine vibes
Yeah.
too. So
Yeah.
it could work for even like the first book.
But it's also just such a comfort series for me. That's why I'm like, ooh, warm tea, cozy.
What's that hot drink that it's like
A hot
hot
toddy?
toddy?
Mhm.
Do you like those?
I don't really like whiskey, even in
Okay.
mixed drinks. All my family who likes whiskey was really trying to get me on the whiskey train. Not super into it. But my husband
Yeah.
likes to drink them actually when he feels like he's getting sick.
Oh, okay. That's good. Dehydrate himself and
Yeah. No, it's like more
Make
so
his
like
organs work harder. Tell him I'm not.
it's like a thing. It's actually a thing
I don't believe it. How
of
about he
like a
drinks
hot
some water?
toddy. Yeah. Like, or we have hot water with honey. Throw a little whiskey in there. It's a thing. What
I
about
believe
Fourth Wing?
Okay, fourth wing needs like a hard drink.
I was gonna say like a shot of tequila
Ooh, yeah.
or vodka, actually.
I think vodka would be good.
Yeah, tequila's a little too fun.
Whiskey would be good. I could see.
Actually, yeah, but like
a straight shot.
you get it straight whiskey neat, and you
Yeah.
just down it in one gulp, and then you go.
and then you go. You ride that dragon.
Yeah. How about Powerless?
Ooh, this is something fun.
I know.
Maybe like I'm thinking some kind of cocktail.
Ooh.
Like I don't know very many cocktails because I've only been drinking for like a year. So
That's true.
I don't know
What
that
do
much.
you ever order cocktails?
yeah.
What do you
I
get?
usually do. I like Cosmos. I like.
I don't get Cosmo vibe from Powerless.
No, I'm trying to think of what I like. I try a bunch of drinks. I don't like martinis. The olive.
I love olives.
I love olives too, but
No, martinis are a little bit of an acquired taste, I feel like. I almost feel like white wine, like a white wine sangria.
Ooh. That would be good with some like poppy leaves in there.
Some poppy leaves?
Yeah, from Reckless. The red
Oh, I went to
poppy war.
our opium drugs, which are still behind us, our Poppy War. Speaking of, what would you choose for Poppy War? Laudanum?
Ooh, yeah. Which that's a real drink, I'm assuming.
I think it's what people use to like make people pass out.
Oh.
Like over the cloth stuff. You know, like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
pouring this on my cloth to kidnap somebody.
That's what I do. When I get
Casual.
Just casual.
No.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Just that's what made me
that
think of
or like an opium tea.
Opium tea. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a cocktail called a Greyhound, which makes me for Powerless. I was thinking because of what's her face's. What's the girl's name?
Rin?
No, in Powerless.
Oh, Pay.
Thank you. Her silver hair, or like her gray, like a
Ooh,
greyhound.
I like that.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's really cute.
that was a good question. Okay, some of these are like really. I feel like I'd really have to think about.
Me too. We can talk it through.
Yeah, like one of the questions was, what characters do you resonate the most with? And that could be a specific person or even just like general personality traits that you resonate with.
Irene from Throne of Glass. I know we haven't read Throne of
Oh.
Glass, but
No, it doesn't
Irene.
have to be about just anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really resonate with her.
I do.
That's interesting because you hate the man she marries.
You know what? She makes Kale redeemable.
Amen.
She really does.
Amen.
I'm like,
He is so lucky to have that woman.
I think Tower of Dawn
It's so good.
is one of her best writings.
It is, and it's so funny, and I think a lot of people think this. They dread reading it because
It's so
you're
good.
so mad at Kale, but then you start reading it and you're like, this is the best.
What's her name? The lady he dates before.
Why do I want to say Neja?
Nesrin?
Nesrin, thank you.
I love her.
Yeah.
I love the man she ends up with. I love
learning
world
about that
building.
world.
So interesting. I love Irene.
Yes.
I also a little bit.
I know you resonate with Nesta a lot.
I do, but I don't think I'm like Nesta.
I don't think you are either.
Yeah, but I understand. Give me an angry female,
You can relate.
and I can relate to her.
Yeah. I feel like the characters that I kind of touched on this in the last episode that we did about the Burning God, but any character that has a really strong character arc and really redemption arc, I feel like I really can relate to, in that there's humanness, but I love to see the growth. And it's like when the character never makes any growth, I don't know why I'm reading it. Like,
Yeah.
and so like even Nesta, who I really don't love for most of the book, I still find myself drawn to her as a character because we get this really powerful redemption story.
It's interesting.
And I feel
Yeah.
like that's super relatable. I, as a human, know that I'm flawed, but, you know, more often than not, I am trying to better myself. And I hope that of so many people. And so there's that, like, human aspect of, like, oh, I can relate to some of, like, the really terrible things that you're feeling or thinking, but also your willingness to, like, break down and confront them and do the hard work to be better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I can't really think of one specific character where I'm like, ooh, that's me.
I'm trying to think.
I do relate a
Love
lot to Farah,
Yeah.
but I feel like I don't want to sound like self-righteous because people really think, a lot of people are like, oh, she's just so self-righteous, which I don't see. I see a much different side. I see like somebody who was doing her best to survive and was actually really, really broken and just finds healing before the other people in her life do. So,
I don't think that's like, you just have a different perspective.
Yeah.
Probably because you do resonate with her. I don't think you're self-righteous.
thank you.
Makes you feel better. I don't think
I
you're
don't want that to
self-righteous.
be a character trait of mine. So,
No.
Yeah.
No.
What is your favorite book character of all time?
This is so hard.
I don't know if I can answer this question.
Junie B. Jones, to be honest.
Hermione Granger?
Hermione resonate. Ooh, Luna Lovegood.
Oh my
I love Luna
gosh.
Lovegood.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hermione really resonates with me, actually.
Me too. Some of my like flaws are really,
Yeah.
I can relate to her in the ways that just like a little type A perfectionist, a little know-it-all, definitely like earlier in my life coming
Yeah.
off as like kind of like I know better than you.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
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 Too
But I
many
love her.
characters I love, though.
That's the thing. It's really hard to
Yeah.
pick the favorite of all time.
Yeah. What book characters most like your spouse? That's a great
That
question.
is a great question. I definitely start to think about the characters we've read recently. And outside of the wanting to maybe murder me, Kai does remind me a lot of my husband.
Oh, okay. I'm glad your husband doesn't want to murder you.
He doesn't. And a part of the reason is his poeticness. Like, my husband is so good with words and like very much a romantic. But is like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to think of other reasons why. But Kai's the first one that came to mind. And the looks, like the tall, dark hair and all of that. Blue eyes. Oh, he has not blue eyes.
No.
Gray eyes.
Kind of. I mean, I could see where you're like, oh,
Yeah.
that's kind of similar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, I am not sure for Ty. Part of me wants to say Dorian because I love him so much, but I have a really hard time, like Manon, talking about my feelings. And Ty is very, very patient. And he is very good at talking about his feelings and is like very patient in that way. And he's like, I feel like Dorian's really like social and Ty can like really talk to anyone. Yeah. Probably why I love Dorian so much.
Yeah. I don't know why Kai. And again, I'm like, well, Reese also comes to mind just because.
I feel like Michael's a little bit more laid back than Reese, though.
Much more laid back. But in terms of like, and Michael doesn't put on this front of being this evil guy at all. Like, he's very welcoming and outgoing. He is very chill. But in terms of like having a really hard past and kind of having a lot of cards stacked against him, but really choosing, I always look at like Tamlin and Reese, right? Like, they both had pretty traumatic childhoods. And outside of the part where Reese puts off of this front, like, Reese has really chosen to take that and do good, whereas Tamlin is still kind of living. He hasn't healed, he hasn't processed. And so that side of things I really see in my spouse, where he has chosen to bring beauty from the ashes and move forward and not let those things define him. And he is so encouraging of that in others. And I see that in Reese too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I get the Dorian vibes from Ty.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think too, maybe probably why I love Manon as well as Dorian is they both had to kind of come to terms with a part of their life was not as it seemed.
Yeah, I totally
Dorian
see that.
had to face that with like his dad and like his kingdom and what was happening there. Manon with her like grandma realizing like, ooh, I am believing lies and I am not. This is not what's happening. I don't think I'm like Manon though.
I don't think you are either.
I'm way too good at hiding my feelings. Meaning I will pretend to be really happy.
Whereas she is just like, I'm going to be mean. Like, but you guys do the same. You're doing the same thing. You're just doing it in a different way.
In a different way.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm Reese and Farah with Michael, and you're Dorian and Manon. I love this for us. This is great. What is your stuck on a desert island book?
This is a really good question.
Can it be a series?
Let's make it a series.
I would take Throne of Glass. There's so many books.
There's so many books. I agree.
Or Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like Harry Potter because it is like nostalgic.
Yeah. And you really, with both series, you could continually learn so many new things as you read them.
Yeah. I would want something really fun to read. Like Throne of Glass.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm like, I don't need something
No.
like crazy. I'm not going to bring War and Peace.
No. Or Anna Karenina.
No. How about I bring a survival guide?
That's what I was going to say. Maybe like how to turn your environment into food.
Yeah.
What is poisonous and what's not.
I might take Hunger Games.
Oh, okay. That's a good one.
I love Hunger Games.
Don't eat the berries.
Don't eat the berries. Least favorite book you've read? Are you going to say Poppy War?
thinking about it. Oh, I don't know. I'm trying to think of books that I've DNF'd for the reason of them not being good. I feel like recently I've DNF'd a lot of audiobooks just because I can't handle the narrator. But it doesn't have to do with the content.
Yeah.
What about you? Do you have one?
I read this one that was very interesting. I don't know where my phone is, and I don't know what it's called. So
What was it about? Can we like Google keywords?
Yeah, it was. The author was like something Nightfisher, and it was a like TJ Nightfisher or something like that, and it was a retelling of Beauty and the Beast. No, it was a woman, but her pseudonym she
Okay.
wrote under. It was a retelling of Beauty and the Beast, but not Beauty and the Beast, of Sleeping Beauty.
Okay.
But the princess was like evil. I read Thornhedge.
Okay.
And I just felt like the description of it did not match what actually happened in the book.
Interesting.
And it was a lot of like there wasn't a lot of talking. It was weird.
I know I can't think of anything off the top of my head, and I feel like it's because I just like I don't remember them.
Yeah.
Because they weren't good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I agree.
Is there a book you'll never tire of rereading? I feel like this can kind of connect to the desert island thing.
Yeah. Probably Throne of Glass, but like late Throne of Glass.
Yeah.
I really hate the first few books, to be honest.
I also don't reread a lot, to be honest.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like we reread ACOTAR together for the podcast, and I would love to reread Throne of Glass. And it's not that I don't think about the books often or like read things associated with the books, but there's just so much new and exciting out there that I like discovering new books.
Me too. I don't reread that often either. I have a few like romance books that I'll reread that I don't mind
Yeah.
reading,
Yeah.
but I don't. Why? There's so much on my TBR.
I know, and there's just not a lot of time to read.
No. Which books have you enjoyed covering the most on the podcast?
Probably ACOTAR, because we did the deep dive, which was really fun.
Yeah.
By the end, when we were finishing Silver Flame, I was like, okay, I'm ready for this
Same.
to be done.
Same.
But overall, it was really cool to reread so slowly and with such intentional notes, because I learned so much more about the series, and it made me love it more.
Me too. I felt that way. I liked rereading ACOTAR. I really liked reading Powerless with you.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
That was really fun.
It was just something new, and we both hadn't read
Yeah.
it.
And Fourth Wing. Like
And
the Fourth Wing series, that was
Fourth Wing
super
is really
fun.
fun.
I've liked
Yeah.
it all except for the end of Poppy War. That's fine. Okay, this one is... This question is from a friend of mine. Morgan, what's your problem with self-help books? Katie, do you like self-help books? I've talked about how I don't like them.
Yeah.
And I think a part of the reason I don't like them, it just feels... I thought about this question a lot, and now I've already lost all the words for it. It's not that I don't like their purpose or that I'm not willing to grow and learn and change, but I've read multiple, and it often feels like it's hundreds of pages to get to like one point.
Yeah.
And can I just have the point, please? Like, or I'd rather go to therapy or talk things out with my husband. And like, yeah, there's a lot of power in being able to read things from other people and like learn what they did. But it just doesn't usually hit home for me. And reading is something I do for fun.
Yeah.
It's like where I go for a fun time. So
Escape.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't really like self-help books either. I also would rather just go to therapy. I also sometimes feel like, who is this person to have credentials to
That's
help
another
me?
thing. It really depends on who's writing the book.
Yeah.
And even when we think, do you remember the girl who wrote the like Girl Wash Your Face?
Uh-huh.
The whole scandal with her? Like,
Yeah.
these are just other humans. And while a therapist is too,
at least they
I
have
don't know.
like evidence-based like practices that can help.
Yeah.
I like, if I'm going to read like a self-help type of book, it's typically going to be learning about like feminism and
Right.
like racism and like these social structures. Like to me, that's self-help because I'm able to recognize structures in my life that aren't
Yeah.
good and how I can
Yeah.
work through them. To me, that's like how I would rather read self-help, is more
Yeah.
like on social justice issues.
Yeah. And I'm trying to think of the ones that I have read that I've enjoyed. The Gifts of Imperfection by Brene Brown was really good. And then The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry by John Mark Comer. I really liked both of those. And I feel like they were very practical and applicable. Whereas I've read other self-help books where I'm like, I feel like you just preached at me for 100 pages
Yeah.
and you haven't actually told me how to improve.
Yeah.
Or you've just told me like what other people have done wrong.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm good.
We don't need that.
We don't need that.
What is your favorite book cover of any book that I own?
I don't know.
I don't actually have a lot of books. I don't know if I mentioned this on the podcast. I got a lot of mine stolen.
You did. It was a while ago.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah.
But my mom has a lot of mine from like, I was a big reader when I was growing up, so she has a lot of mine.
I'm also not one to buy like multiple copies of a book
Same.
or like special editions if I already own the regular one. That's just not something that I do.
Yeah.
I think the covers to like Powerless and Reckless are really pretty and cool to look at. And honestly, even though the Crescent City series is not my favorite from SJM, those covers are really cool.
I was thinking of Crescent City.
Yeah.
I thought they are really pretty. So like intricate and detailed. I think they're really cute.
Yeah.
Ooh, your favorite book of all time. I have too many.
I know.
Or like
this is really hard
that, like,
for me.
fulfill different things for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
What's your favorite book, not series, that we've covered on the podcast?
Probably not Poppy War. Any of the Poppy Wars. Sorry, Poppy War. You're just too heavy for me.
Me too. Mine would be Akamath, A Court of Mist and Fury.
Yeah.
I love that book.
Probably same.
Yeah,
I
it's
really
so
like
good.
Enough. I actually really like the first book, A Court of Thorns and
Yeah,
Roses.
it is really good.
I think that it could be a standalone. I think if you like romance, but you're not really interested in like the full story of ACOTAR, I think you could read only the first book and be totally fine.
Yeah, I agree. And people who say that they didn't like it or they never, I never fell for Tamlin. I'm like, are you sure? Did you though? Are you just saying that?
Well, I mean, Lucian was a little haughty though. Like,
Yeah.
throughout the book.
Oh my gosh, my cousin, when she was reading ACOTAR, she would text me her updates. And she literally, I took a screenshot of it. I'll have to send it to you sometime because it cracked me up. 'Cause she was just texting me and it was hilarious.
Yeah.
She's like, what do they mean by they're not human? Like, I don't know, because I'm feeling attracted to them, but they're not human. And like, this is the first fantasy world I've read. And I was like, they're humanoid. Like
Yeah, they're human.
And I sent her some fan art, you know, of
They
like
have
Tamlin
penises.
and yeah.
They have human like.
I can't believe we just said that on the podcast. They have.
This is a get to know me, okay? And you know what? I do say things like that in real life. So.
So, and she's like, okay. And then all of a sudden she goes, wait, Lucian has a fake eye? And I was like, yeah, you know, and I explained it and she's like, and previously she's like, Lucian just sounds so hot. She's like, I don't know if I can get behind that. Like, I don't know how I feel about the whirring and it like watching me. And she was cracking me up. But
Some people might find that hot.
yeah, magical eye.
Magical eye, I could watch you.
I know. Well, she barely got behind the fact that they were not human.
They
So
had, I'm like, they just had little elf ears.
yeah, once she saw pictures, she was
Yeah.
like, okay,
Okay.
I like it. Okay, we have some more like personal questions. So moving
Okay.
away from the book related ones. How did we meet? I feel like we've shared this one on the podcast.
We work together.
Yes.
And I actually did like a working interview, and they were like, okay, watch this girl. And then go in there. And
Stop
I'm like,
it.
who is this beautiful girl who like knows everything? She's so fun.
Sweating.
I was like, I have to be her friend. And then we were friends.
We just became friends.
Yeah.
I don't even know our first, like, interaction as friends.
I had to watch you again after I got the job. And then
Oh, okay.
we had, like, lunch together.
Okay. We're so cute.
I know. And then we, like, trauma dumped.
That sounds about right. That sounds about right for
Yeah,
us.
it
We're
was
both
good.
pretty open if we feel safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
We felt safe.
That was a long time ago now.
It was a long time ago.
Was that? That was after COVID.
It was, like, it was 2020.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It was, like, late
Yeah. Oh, my
2020.
gosh. We've been friends for 4 years.
It's flown by.
That's so fun.
I know.
I honestly, like, all of my best friends I've met in adulthood.
Same. I have one childhood best friend
Yeah.
who will always be my friend.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. Which is kind of fun because I think a lot of people have a hard time finding friends as adults, and I can
Oh,
see
yeah.
why that would be difficult. And I feel like I've just gotten really lucky with the people I've met.
you're also very friendly
Thank you.
and social.
Thank you.
I don't think I could come across that way all the time.
You came across that way to me. You got
It's
me a
'cause it
birthday
was-
present, and we'd known each other for like a month. I'll never forget.
That was so nice of
That
me.
was so nice of you.
Because you were one person.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
I don't know, if it's like a big group, I'm like, okay, I gotta
It's like that's my
gotta
element.
watch. Oh yeah, like I'm gonna wait
Mm-hmm.
and see a little bit.
My mom spoke that over me. She used to tell me, Morgan, you can make friends with a stick. And I was like, I took that and ran with it.
You did.
Mm-hmm.
You really could.
I could.
What a funny saying.
I know. I don't know where she got it.
Are your other sisters like that?
They're both very friendly and kind, but I think that I'm just a little bit more like I like being in those environments. Like I like meeting new people. I like making friends. It doesn't tire me or like come off as like a negative thing in any way. Not that it's negative to them, but they're still like outgoing and very welcoming, but I think they're just a little bit more reserved than I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could kind of see.
Yeah. One because she wants to be, and one because she's just a little more shy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was really shy as a kid.
Really?
Really, really shy. And I have like memories of. I'm also really sassy sometimes, and I always have been really sassy. And sometimes my older sister, she's 4.5 years older than me, we would walk home, and sometimes her friends would obviously be walking home to their house. And they would sometimes like try to include me, and I think I was just so shy and they didn't get my humor, so they always thought I was being really mean, and they'd be like, "Your sister's so mean,"
Oh
and she's
my
like, "Why do you have to be so mean to my
gosh.
friends?" And I'm like, first of all, leave me alone. I don't want you to talk to me because I'm so shy. Second of all, I was trying to make a joke and they didn't get it.
Also, that's a pretty big age difference when
Yeah.
you're a kid. Like 8 years old versus 12.
Yeah.
12 years old versus 16. Whereas as adults, that age difference is nothing. But yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I was really shy.
Oh.
I could still be really
Katie.
shy. I know.
What's our fave thing about each other?
My favorite part of you, your heart.
Oh
I
my
like you. Think you're so
gosh.
sweet and so kind.
Thank
and
you.
nice.
Yes. I love your honesty, and I feel like I know you said you're shy and stuff, but from day one, I just felt like you were always, even with everything that you've gone through and just things that you've been learning about yourself, I feel like you may not feel this way, but I've always seen you as being like pretty strong and true to yourself,
Oh, that's
even in
good.
different seasons and walks of life. And I really like that
That
about
makes
you.
me feel good. Morgan knew me when I was Mormon.
Yes.
And Dana did too. And I was just telling Dana this other day. I was like, I hate that you that you knew me at that time because I just felt so.
I still feel like you're the same person. You're just a
Okay.
little more bold now.
Yeah.
But I really do, and I hope you see that as a compliment because,
Yeah.
like, I just think you've always been exactly who you are, and that has shown through in your true friendships. So even if you felt like maybe you were wearing a mask or putting on a front, like, I feel like you've always been the wonderful person you are.
Thanks. That makes me feel better.
welcome.
The cognitive dissonance during deconstruction.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Go to therapy.
I think we say that like once an episode, if
We
not
said
more.
that like multiple now.
Yeah. What made us want to start the podcast? We just like,
Impulsivity.
yeah, we just texted about it one day and then did it.
Yeah, we just really did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was no real thinking.
No.
We were just like, we should do this.
We'll just, see how long we last.
Did not realize how time consuming it was.
That is true, especially when you're reading something you don't want to be reading.
True. Honestly.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
should maybe do a better job at researching.
100%.
I think for the rest of our book series we've picked are more on par to what we like.
Yeah,
So,
I think so too.
what made us want to be an SLP? A speech language pathologist.
'Cause that's what we do.
My perfectionism and need to want to help people.
I love that. Oh my
I was
gosh.
like, wait, I need to be so good at school. I can do that. And I really want to help everyone.
I think I just got lucky that like my personality fit in with this field because I didn't know what I was getting into.
I kind of didn't either. My mom's a nurse, and I was talking about it with her because I wanted to be a doctor, but I was like, I don't want to go through med school.
Literally same.
And then she was like, oh, you might like being like a speech language pathologist. And I was like, oh, what is that? And I was like, oh, I think I would. Mm-hmm. Like, what I like about my job is I like working in small groups with kids. I like that I can make an impact, although sometimes that feels very daunting to me. And I like the science behind my field.
Yes. Yeah. I was initially a bio major because I wanted to go into the medical field for the reason of like I liked school. So I was like,
Same.
this isn't scary to me necessarily. And I wanted to help people, but I was so bored so quickly. And then I was like, I like school, but I don't like chemistry.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't love calculus. Like, I can do it, but I'm not having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I was planning on being a physician assistant, and I went to a, like, pre-PA club. And no offense to any PAs out there, I'm sure you're so much fun. I was like, these people are so boring. Like, I am having no fun. And I like school. I love school, but I am a fun time gal. And I truly believe you can have both. And I was just like, there's nothing in these people's lives except for this plan to be a PA. And that's not for me. And I took a Myers-Briggs personality test. And it said that, like, basically any form of therapist I would be good at, and speech language pathologist was on there. So I figured out what it was, and I literally moved back home and just started the career. And I like a lot of the same things that you do, and I love how much I've learned about behavior. And how much our language is rooted in that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I just find it interesting. And if you are concerned with your child, this is my push. Then, and if your doctor is not listening to your concerns, look for your regional center and you get free services, 0 to 3 if they qualify.
Seriously.
So.
And there is no shame in receiving early intervention services.
No.
And more often than not, it is going to save you and your child a lot of heartache and struggle if you just take that step to get them help and support.
And you're not a bad parent.
No, you're an amazing parent.
Language delays are one of the most common delays out there.
So common.
So,
And honestly, you can message us on Instagram or TikTok if you have any questions, and we'll answer.
yeah,
Yeah.
we will.
Anyway.
Ooh, how do we meet our spouses?
Oh, you go first this time. Oh, wait. Yeah, you go first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me and Ty are high school sweethearts. We had a science class together, and he was passing out papers, and I was really quiet, and I sat like in the corner. Like I wasn't, like in like high school, you have like the labs. I sat at like one of the lab tables.
Okay.
And my partner was never there.
Okay.
And I never said anything.
Okay.
And then Ty was very talkative and always joking. He was like in the middle. So like he had no idea who I was. And then he was like, who's Katie? And I was like, very sassy. And I was like, me? And he was like, okay. I was like, you don't know my name? It was like literally like halfway through the semester. I was like,
gosh.
you don't know my name? And he was like, no. Do you know my name? I was like, yeah, it's Ty. And he said, don't forget my name.
And he didn't.
He loved it.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute. I always forget that you guys are high school sweethearts. Even though it's
too.
like in the pocket of my brain every time you say it. I'm like, oh yeah.
So sweet.
So sweet, so romantic.
I think you have a romantic story.
Thank you. Michael and I met at church. very briefly, and I tried to be his friend, and he did not seem like he wanted to be mine. And then we both moved away for a year and moved back home. I moved back home and was working at a local coffee shop, and he came in as a customer. And he remembered me, and come to find out, it's not that he didn't want to be my friend. He was super shy because he thought I was so beautiful.
You struck him.
I did, because he's not a shy
No.
guy at all. And I thought he was really cute, so I added him on all the social medias, and he got the hint and asked me to get coffee. And
So sweet.
it was like such a Christian thing. He was like, I just want to hear what God's doing in your
my
life.
gosh.
Like, yeah.
You're like, no,
I'm
you want to make out with me?
Sure. You think I'm really cute.
That is
And
really
now
funny.
we've been married for 7 years. You guys too, right?
Got married the same year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that for us.
Me too.
Okay. Besides reading, what else do you enjoy doing in your free time?
Hanging out with my dogs. Working out. I've been playing on my Switch a little bit.
What are you playing?
I just got back on Animal Crossing.
Okay. I play no video games.
Well, it's because I've been doing audiobooks more,
Uh-huh.
and to be honest, I've been looking for something to do with my hands because I don't want to just sit there. And
No, I
listen.
can't just sit there.
I kind of want to go into coloring.
You should.
I feel like I'd really like it.
Ooh.
I think it'd be fun. But
I will also play the Switch when I'm listening to audiobooks if I don't
Yeah.
have chores and
what
stuff
do
to
you
do.
play on the Switch?
Random stuff, Stardew Valley, Dreamlight Valley,
Yeah.
lots of valleys.
I have some like puzzle games that are fun.
I have like
relaxing.
I have like a board game
Organizing.
pack
Oh,
on there, so I'll play like backgammon or checkers,
yeah.
random stuff like that. Yeah. I like Stardew Valley.
I've never played Stardew Valley, but I feel like I would like it.
I
since
think you'd
Animal
like it.
Crossing. Sometimes the thing about Animal Crossing that I don't like is I feel like it's just very slow. Like,
At one point, like, there's eventually nothing to do.
yeah.
Or you just do
And
the same
I'm
things.
kind of at the point of like, I have a general design of my island. My island is Taylor Swift themed.
Oh my gosh, I
But-
want to visit.
No, it's a mess because I'm so overwhelmed. Like I
Uh-huh.
have like my general sections and I kind of just like place some ideas.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, now I have to actually like plan it
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to.
There's another one that you might like. It's called Spiritfarers. And it's this, I think it's a girl, and her job is to like ferry spirits from one world to the next, but you like take care of them on the boat. And so you're just like making sure they get their food and they go to bed on time. And it's really cute. It's very relaxing.
I probably would like it. Yeah. What else do you like to do on your free
Oh,
time?
I don't really have a lot of free time.
Morgan doesn't.
No.
She really doesn't. Her schedule is packed every
Well,
day.
and honestly, like having the age that my child is, it's like he's not by himself
He's
ever.
obsessed with me and Dana. by
Oh
the
my
way.
gosh, he asks for you guys all the time.
We're
all the
just the
time.
fun ants.
We go on a walk every Friday with some other moms and their kids. And I was like, who do you think is going to be on our walk today? And sometimes it's like a pretty big group of people, and it's just whoever can come.
Yeah.
And he's like, Miss Katie and Miss Dana. And I'm like, why do you think that? And he's just like, Miss Katie and Miss Dana. I'm like, dude, they've never been on one of these walks. And yeah, so he just wanted you guys to be there. So take a Friday off
Okay.
and come on a walk with us.
I didn't work on Friday, but I was sick, so
Yeah, that's true.
I did not.
Yeah, he just loves you
should
guys.
not be around your
No.
child. I'm sick.
Yeah, but my free time is just taken up by him right now, and it's
That's good.
you know it is, and it's not a season that's going to last forever. Like eventually he'll be doing his own hobbies.
Yeah.
But right now, hanging out with me is his hobby. So
Yeah.
yeah, we like to cook and just go to coffee shops, playgrounds. That's what we do.
Playing.
The zoo, yeah, we play arts and crafts. We had some technical difficulties at the end of our 1-year anniversary video, and so our sign off got cut off. So this is me officially saying thanks for listening. Follow us on our social media at It's Fate Podcast on TikTok and Instagram, and rate, review, subscribe on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week. Bye.